Hi everyone, welcome to the day 6 of our Power BI training. So today we are going to learn about the data analytics expressions, which is called DAX functions in Power BI. So yesterday what we learned about the data modeling part. So today we will start with first creating a small data model. So we have these two tables, the customer and the sales tables. You can see in the right side, and here we have the uh, relationship is already built just because we have the similar column names here in both of the tables, as I told you yesterday. So so today we will take the next step, which is called the DAX functions. So we will be writing DAX functions, which is a kind of a language that makes Power BI powerful. With DAX, what we can do, we can create new columns, we can create measures and calculations that don't exist in the raw data. So we will be learning about the calculated columns and measures. Then we will use the basic DAX functions, which is sum, min, max, count rows, distinct count, related, and etc. Some other functions. So let's know what is the difference between a calculated column and a measure. So calculated column is something which is storing the row level of it, which we are storing in the row level of a table, and it will physically increase the table size. Let's say, for example, here in my sales table, okay, if we want to store a profit column, how if we want to create a profit column, how it will be created? So we have to uh, subtract the sales amount to the cost amount. Okay, so we will be subtracting the sales amount to the cost amount, and it will be calculated on the row level basis. So and for every row it will create a value, and we can find out that value written, like we can fetch that value in a calculated column. Measure is something different from the calculated column. So when we are calculating on the fly, so it is not stored. It is something which is not stored in the file. It is just a calculation. So when we are creating a measure, so how we will create it is very good. Like when we want to create a total profit, so what we will do the sum of sale amount minus sum of cost amount, and that will be our measure, which is our total profit, and that we can use for our KPIs with like that is best for the aggregations. Okay, so let's quickly create some column in the measure. So I'll create first column, which is a profit. So I need to write profit equals to, as I said, the sales amount. So sales amount minus the cost amount. If I click enter, here you can see this sign came for the profit column, and this is a calculated column sign. Now if we go to the table view and we can select the sales table, here you can see we have the profit. Okay. Now let's create a metric, a measure. So we'll right click on the table, we'll click on the new measure, and let's write total profit. The total profit will be our sum of sales amount minus sum of cost amount. So this is a sign for a metric, a measure. We drag it here, we check it as a card, so we can see the total profit is 1500 rupees. Okay, or $1,500. Okay. So think of a calculated column like writing extra notes in the data set itself, and a measure is like doing just math on the fly. Okay, so that is the major difference in the Power BI as a calculated column or a metric. Let me just drag both here. So if I drag the profit, so the sum of profit is also 1500. But if I change it to the table view, and if I just remove the summarize, so as you can see, we are seeing on the row level basis. Okay. So if we drag the product also here, so for tablet it is 100 rupees, for mobile it is. So see, we got the laptop multiple times. It means it is calculating here. But if again similar, if we create with the metric, I'll remove the profit from here. I'll add the total profit. It will say segregate. You can see for laptop it is showing the total. For the mobile it is showing the total, and for the tablet also the same. Okay. So for you guys, you just create me a calculated column and keep it like discounted sales, and which is a 10% discount. So that you can just think about it, and you can just create me a discount amount here. Okay. Now let's understand some basic DAX function. So we have some aggregate functions, which is sum, min, max, average. Then we have some counting functions. Count is also one of the aggregate function, but we have different kind of count. We have count, we have distinct count, we have count rows. Again, we have one related function which will fetch the related data from a different table. So let's use each of them. So sales, as you can see, if we want total sales, so just we will right click on it. We'll create a new measure. We will use sum function here. So I am creating total sales. I'll write total sales. I'll write sum of. If I click on sum, now you can see I need to provide a column name. So I'll write sale amount and close the parenthesis. I'll click enter. Now I get the total sales here. So I'll change it to the dollar view so that we can see it as a currency. So we got the total sales. Like that, if we want to see a minimum sale or maximum sale, we can replace this sum with the min, max, or average. Let's create one another which is average sales. I'll just write AVG sales. That will be nothing, just I have to use the average of sales. Just here we will go and we will drag it. Now you can see we have the average sales. So it is average sales by per product. For mobile it is 550. For laptop it is 1200. For tablet it is 325. But overall it is 643. There is one another DAX function which is called the count rows, which will count the total number of rows in that particular table. It will count the all rows. So just I'll write a count rows measure, create a measure. And we have to provide the table name. So I'll write sales. Now I can see we have total 8 rows in the sales table. Similarly, we have the distinct count. Let's see if I want to count the distinct number of product we have in the sales. Just I'll write a new measure. Unique products. Unique products. I'll selected that column. And if I see now, so we have only 3. Okay. Similarly, there are some other functions which you can find out in the documentation of Microsoft, and you can practice here. Okay. So these are the basic functions which we mostly use. There are so many advanced DAX function also, which is like filter functions, the calculate function, the calculate table function, as well as the time intelligence functions, the date time functions, etc., etc., which we will be learning in our upcoming classes. But as of now, we will understand the basic of DAX. So let's connect again tomorrow. Let's see the upcoming classes tomorrow. Bye bye.